All right, so do shorter URLs actually help you rank higher on search engines? Yes? No? Let's find out. Hey, how's it going? My name is Jedi. I do videos on SEO, social media, web development, web design, stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of those topics, consider hitting the subscribe button and just click the thumbs up button so that other people can see this content. So with that out of the way, let's get to the topic. All right, so do shorter URLs actually help you rank better on Google? So the conventional wisdom is that if you have a shorter URL, it will be not only easier to share, right, but it'll be more trustworthy because it's not filled with a bunch of parameters, question marks, etc., and it's just infinitely long. Even if it's not like equals, plus, minus, all kinds of other strings like numbers, it's still it can still be text heavy, and it'll be harder to read and stuff, and it'll get chopped off in certain areas. So so it's easier to share, but it's also trustworthy because you see clearly where you're going to go if you click on that link, unless it's like a bit.ly or a cloaker or something like that. For like, you know, just you can see where you're going if you use a shorter URL. And I think that's why a lot of people, SEO people, talk about shorter URLs. And also just prettier, obviously, of course, right? So here on the screen, I'm showing you a graph from Backlinkco. They did a study and they concluded that there's a very clear correlation between shorter URLs and increasing higher on search engine results page, right? And it's pretty cut and dry. It looks like shorter URLs are just better all around. Another thing to mention is that you can also omit non-important keywords or words, not keywords. You can omit things like to, the, of from your title. But now this raises another question altogether. How much omitting of these important little tiny keywords should we be removing? I'll post an example of what I'm talking about. This one here is the full URL. And then this one here is the one with little small characters omitted. So removed, essentially. So the question is, does removing those really help? And I'm kind of in between the fence here because I've heard people say, hey, you should remove those non-important characters. It doesn't help you in search results. So what you need is those important keywords. But then I've also heard people talk about if you don't have those important little words, the meaning might be lost when someone's reading that URL, and I think that's really important. It's something worth talking about. So for me, what I do when I write URLs, I actually try my best to keep the regular speech, like the regular length of the URL. Okay, so just the point is that I prefer to go with something semantic that I can actually read, but just keeping that short, as opposed to having something long, but then only adding keywords in the URL. I don't like that as much. Just keep the URL short, but keep the 2-letter, 1-letter words in there so that when someone's reading it, it actually makes sense. All right, so in this video, we just talked a little bit about the relationship between URL length and search engine results, and some of the ways that you can write shorter URLs while keeping them SEO friendly and semantic friendly, I guess is the word that I'm choosing. So that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe if you want to see me rant more about SEO topics, social media, web design, web development, WordPress, all kinds of that kind of stuff, right? So thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.